the 4 pillars of lasting brain-driven weight loss. And those who know me know I always talk about the 5 dimensions of wellness. The whole life is not one-dimensional. We are not just physical bodies. We have a mental component, our thoughts, emotions. We have social components, the relationships. We have a financial components, how much we have available in funds to pay for housing, for supplements, for drugs, for food. And we have a spiritual component, a connection to the universe, to the unfathomable, to the universal energy, or whatever name you want to give what others call God, Allah, Jahwe. In my opinion, it's all similar. Now, let's go right into it. The 4 pillars of lasting brain-driven weight loss are close to my heart because in 2005, when you look at the lady there on the bottom, that was me. I was 315 pounds. I was very unhealthy. And I lost 150 pounds with different methods, and I kept most of it off till now. The other picture was 150 pounds lighter. That was in 2011. Since then, I packed about 20 pounds back on that I want to take off again. So here's a challenge for all of us in the new year. I'm looking forward to it. I'll talk about that later more. The 4 pillars of lasting brain-driven weight loss that have allowed me to keep the weight off and also help my clients to lose weight and keep it off quite effortlessly, actually, are mindset, eating, and no, I'm not saying diets. And when you watch my web class, you'll know why. I am of the opinion that diets don't work. Movement, yeah, no, not exercise. You don't have to go to the gym and exercise mindlessly for hours to lose weight. It does not work. And I will share in the web class and here in the group what actually works. And we all need support. One of my favorite coaches, Marsha Goldsmith, has said, we all need help. We can be on top of a big business. We can be in a hut and poor. We all need help. We all need love. We all need care and support. So that is important. Let me break that down a little bit, what I mean. And I want to invite you, if you have any questions, comments, please tell me below so I can create even more helpful content specifically tailored to what you want to know, what you're missing, what you're struggling with. I've learned a lot in my 40 years of healthcare. Some people say I'm very knowledgeable, but as I always say, knowledge is not everything. You have to be able to apply it and then take action from there. So mindset for me means that we have to think like a thin person, and we can train our brain to do that. And I tell you one thing, the law of attraction sounds enticing and all those affirmations are beautiful. But if they're just stickers on your mirror or on your monitor, and you rattle them off and your brain doesn't really believe them, they are worthless. Your brain believes what you think when you even don't know that you think it. That's called automatic negative thoughts. So if you think you look like a beach ball, like a whale, you're fat, you're ugly, you don't even want to look at you naked in the mirror. This is the power of negative thoughts. And yes, it is part of mastering your emotions. That's one thing that I teach all my clients and that I want to teach everyone here in the group and in my courses. And I also want to tell you how to change bad habits permanently, not just the negative thoughts. We can transform them into more positive thoughts, but in a way that our brain is actually believing them, and only then will it work. And I use neuroscience and psychology, not willpower, to do that, because willpower runs out after a very short time, as you know. And everybody that tried dieting and after a few weeks or months run into the roadblock and it just didn't work no more. They couldn't do it. Willpower is futile. We have only so much. And when we are stressed or overwhelmed, the willpower is gone. And what's calling? The food in a country. I hear you. I'm the same way. Now then I want to talk about eating. And eating is a very interesting process, and I will go in detail in it. And I don't think about it as diet, because diet has been misused so much. Now, the original Greek word means really a way of living. That I agree with. But I call it eating because, and specifically, I want to call it intuitive, intentional eating. And since I am lazy, I tend to use abbreviations. So I use IIE, intuitive intentional eating, as an abbreviation for that. What does it mean to eat that way? It means that you're not restricted by any diets. You can eat anything that your body feels like eating. You can eat any food that feels right. And I will explain in future videos exactly what I mean by that. You also need to add intention to eating and be mindful of the food in front of you and grateful for what you have. You can actually train your brain to love the foods that love you back. Many people say, oh, I don't like that. I would never eat that. Well, maybe it's time to reconsider and think about it and at least try it. We need to eat with a purpose and a plan. Many of us don't. We just gobble it up. We look in the pantry. We get hungry, we go to the fridge. What's in it? We eat it. What the wife or husband prepares, we eat it. That is not helpful. Then we need to vary our eating pattern. Our body is made to balance. That means to be able to balance around a good, steady middle. What it needs to do is sometimes be out of balance, a little up, a little down, so it can find the balance in the middle again. So a little stress one direction, a little less stress in the other direction is helpful. We need to get out of balance to achieve lasting balance. It sounds like weird, but it's actually true. It's the same with personal growth. If you never go outside of your comfort zone, even a little bit, and still always am comfortable doing the same things that you always did, you end up going nowhere fast. And that means most of the time downhill towards disease, towards old age, towards dementia, towards nursing home. Now, all that is avoidable. And that's what I want to help you to do. And the earlier you start, the better it is. Now, that's a big thing, and I'll talk about that more in detail later. And we need to learn about nutrition. What really is food? What is in the foods that we eat every day? So that starts with basic things like reading food labels, ingredient labels, and not just reading them, but actually understanding what that means for you, which is a big difference. All right. So after we learned about eating, it's just the second part. There's other parts, moving parts that you need to attend to for lasting, permanent, brain-driven weight loss, as I call it, or weight management, or feeling thin forever, or be slim forever, what you want to call it, get in the best shape of your life. There's movement. We all move every day. And if we move the right way, there's no need for a normal human being to exercise in the gym. Now, if you like to go to the gym, it's great. I love to go to the gym because I see it as a beach. And if you don't know what I mean, I wrote a blog post about it on my website, The Weirdest Way to Love Exercise, even if you hate it. It actually works. You can train your brain to love exercise. But alone, the word exercise has a bad notion. And we don't need to go out of the way to steady our weight. If we want to build muscle, get stronger, it is helpful to work with weight. It is helpful to have a good personal trainer that can help you not to get injured, because a gym and starting exercises is always dangerous. And as always, if you have any pre-existing conditions, please talk to your doctor if you can do it. Now, what I mean with movement, and we all can do it, no matter what our pre-existing conditions, I call it intuitive, intentional movement. And again, I like my abbreviations, IIM. So intuitive, intentional movement means that we move like a thin person, that we add intention to everyday moves and are very aware and feel our muscles while we move. Most of us just move, they walk. They don't even know what happens in their body. And if you're aware of your muscles and you purposefully activate them consistently, you will burn much more energy and fat than if you just mindlessly walk. So you can see, even when you just do housework or go from your Chesterfield to the TV and back, you can actually activate your muscle and burn extra fat and also protect your joints, gain flexibility, and improve your balance. And I'm looking forward to showing you that, how I do it in little videos. And I have a friend that might help me with that. So it is quite interesting. And uh, if that concept, I think, is something that we are missing in our modern world. We think exercise is group classes or going to the gym or doing something outside of the ordinary. But we don't need to do that. And lasting weight loss is only achievable if there's little habits that we can build into our everyday. So, and change our movement patterns. And that's actually the way I overcame my chronic back pain, got off all my medications for it, including morphine that I took for a while. And I'm pretty much pain free unless I sit too long in my office chair, like now. So what I'll do later is get up and move and do some intentional moves that I know help my back. That's the intuition. I know what's good for my back. Now, your back may be different. So that's an interesting concept. Then we need support. That's the fourth pillar of the four pillars of lasting brain-driven weight loss. We need to have and create, if we don't have it yet, a support system. And accountability. Now, what can be a support system? Ideally, we would have all kinds of fine, of great, thin, happy, active people around us. Now, that's not always a reality. Sometimes your husband, your wife, your kids, they eat junk and you can convince them otherwise. Now, if your kids are underage, you actually can. That's another thing. That is a parenting issue. But say you have adults in your house that eat junk. How can you protect your boundaries and train your brain so you don't fall in a weak moment for that junk that you really know is not helpful for your long-term wellness, health, mental clarity, and energy? Because really, we don't want just lose weight and look better. That's fine. And the clothes fit better. That's all nice. But really, what we want, isn't it, is that we want to be flexible. We want to be able to move without pain. We want to be able to lift reasonable weights so we can actually lift something up a shelf and down, to be able to do everyday things of life that we want to do, to be able to be independent and live and do the things that bring us joy and bring us purpose. That's why I always talk about purpose, because weight loss, that the only purpose to look better, is futile. That won't last long, because the basics is not changed. How you feel about yourself has not changed. So much about the support system. It needs to be non-judgmental, uplifting, friendly encouragement. That can be hard when somebody says, oh, you tried it before, that won't work again. That won't work this time again. So sometimes it's helpful to actually hire a coach like myself. And I had a coach that helped me enormously. I still use coaches because I find coaching is one of the greatest professions. And I have a great video on my YouTube that I also put in the guides about that, what we actually do. And we also often have it in our power to create a healthy environment around us. For example, where you most of the time are, where you work, you can always have a drink water, a healthy drink. Water with a little cranberry juice, tart cherry juice, lemon juice, or some other nice flavor, even sparkly water with you that tastes good. Tea, coffee, it's all great. Those are great drinks. And we need to hydrate our brain so we can think and focus on what's important to us. And one of the most important things in life generally that are always important is to be patient with yourself and others. And that can be one of the hardest skills to learn, believe me. I had a hard time to learn, especially to be patient with myself, to slow down. I had a coach tell me, slow down. It's hard. It's hard for me because for me, I want to barrel forward. I want to do things. I want to get that done. Yeah, sometimes it's time to slow down and smell the roses, as the saying goes. So this was it today. I hope it was a little bit of value to you. Again, please put the comments below, ask questions, tell me what you liked, what wasn't helpful, what was the most helpful, what was new to you. And I would love to hear more from you, because what I'm doing is not just, I want to build that out and talk more about the moving parts, about the little things that build those 4 pillars. But also I'm planning in January to do a 4-week challenge, the Final Lived In Forever challenge, for everybody that not just wants to lose weight, but actually wants to keep it up for good, this time forever. And the more often you try something and fail, the more likely you will be successful in the next attempt. So that's where it comes from. Never give up. It's actually a fact. It's scientifically proven. And I say that again, if you missed it, the more often you failed at trying something, the more likely you are to achieve it the next time. And that applies whether you try to quit smoking or to change your weight. Now, the 4 weeks come from the 4 pillars that we will be working on, and there will be 5 main videos. Each video will analyze the pillar from the standpoint of the 5 dimensions of wellness. So I'm excited to prepare that for you guys and girls, and please invite friends, family members, anybody that wants to come and participate, experience, benefit, comment, contribute. I'm always curious. The most I learned was actually from my clients. Yeah, I learned a lot in medical school, but my patients and clients taught me that life is real and life is different than textbooks. In that sense, I hope I see you soon, and I will produce more videos, and I'll try to actually make it live in the group. So for next time, take care. Bye-bye.